Hey, this is Taylor at Truck World RVA. Today we're going to be taking a look at this 2010 Kenworth T300. It's a 260 horse PX8 powered truck mated to an Allison automatic transmission. Spring ride rear, 33,000 GVWR, so it does require a CDL to drive. Air brakes. The truck has just under 60,000 miles and a little over 5,000 hours. We did verify the miles and the hours off the ECU as well. Has an 11-foot IMT Dominator service body, a 60/25 crane, so it's a 10,800 pound maximum lifting capacity, and a 2-stage hydraulic extension out to 25 feet. Currently, the truck has a wired factory remote. For the crane, I do have an aftermarket plug-and-play wireless unit. It's just not here yet, but that will be included with the truck as well. Hydraulic air compressor, hydraulic outriggers, rear workbench bumper. And then in addition to the bed, you do have this gap in front of the body where these pass-through diamond plate toolboxes are. Tons of storage here with the addition of these. They pass all the way through. So lots of storage potential there. The other thing you could do is very easily take this off and sell this box, and you could turn that into a weld deck there. So lots of different options on this truck. As always, the goal of these videos is to show you everything about the truck as if you were here looking at it in person. So I'm going to spend the first half of the video going through the exterior cosmetics of the truck. The second half of the video will run all the equipment on it. I'll do a cold start, a drive, we'll take a look at the engine, and then we'll run out the crane and the compressor. Undercarriage of the truck is nice and dry. The bed floor is nice and dry. There's no rust really to speak of in the bed or the frame of the truck. All the bin floors are solid, and all the doors close, latch, lock, and seal as they should. Again, we'll go through all the compartments there. It is a 2010 model truck. It's pre-diff, but it does have a DPF on it. Overall, the cab is in pretty good shape. For the year of the truck, that's just some grease. Up there, you have a couple chips down here along the bottom edge of the door, and then some light scratching here. Looks like where decals were probably removed at some point. That's typically where those scratches come from. You have a roll-up driver window. The passenger window is power. A little bit of wear on the seat bottom. No tears or rips, just kind of a little worn on the side. 5,071 hours, 59,938 on the miles. I do have a screenshot of the ECU reading as well, and that matches up. Pretty much identical. I have to look back and see, it might be a mile off or so, but basically matches up exactly to what's on the dash. Allison push button automatic. Passenger seat is also in good shape. There's a little bit of dirt there that we need to finish vacuuming off. This center console here, and then the headliner is in decent shape. It looks like there is a light back here that's missing, like a dome light type of thing. So it's a T370 model, PX8 260 horse, and a 3000 RDS. Allison, 529 rear. It is a locking rear. Again, it's spring ride on this truck. You have a chip here, a little bit of fading in the headlights. I'll probably see if my guy can try to get some of that fading out that's in the headlights, but they are going to look a little faded. Obviously, again, it's a 2010, so they're not super new, but we can probably get some of that cloudiness out. You have a chip here, and that's about it on the fender. This truck's been fully serviced and state safety inspected. I can send receipts for all parts and labor that just went into getting this truck ready for sale. So if you'd like copies of those, feel free to call or text 804-716-8487. There's some more decal down here we need to get off. Little scratch here on the door. You do not have the scratching along the center like on the other side. This side of the cab is pretty clean. You do have a scuff up top where maybe the hook block scratched the cab at some point. This top box is fairly hard to reach. I'm about 6 feet tall and it's definitely up there, so to access that you need a little ladder or something to really slide things inside of there. The nice thing about this box on here is it almost gives you more usable space, bed space, than a true 14-foot service body, because you gain all that space that passes all the way through. Another thing you could do is install slides or something in here so that you could access the middle for storage too. But anyway, lots of different ideas. These latches are obviously keyed differently than the latches on the bed. We do have the keys for both. All the bed latches are keyed the same, so the same key is going to work all your latches on your bed, and then there's just a different set of keys that can lock these. These all do lock, so that is secure tool storage. On the bed, you have this master slide lock here, so you can lock your top two tall compartments, and there's another master slide on the back. This entire bed was just sandblasted and repainted, so it does show like new bed liner applied to the front of the service body as well as inside of the bed. And then you can see the exterior has a like new finish. We only paint the exterior of the body. We do not spray bed floors or inside of the bed. So what you see, and this is just dirt, it's dripping out there. So what you see inside of the bed is kind of the condition of the bed. So we just paint to account for rock chips, paint failure, stuff like that. We do that on most of our trucks. You have your waste oil reel inside of this compartment. You have your transfer valve down there, and then your pump down here. There is one large waste oil tank inside of the bed. One thing you could do with this, if you wanted to recoup this bed space, is you could mount that waste tank reel right here under the crane, which I see fairly often, and then kind of move the valves to the side. That would give you a lot more space in this compartment. Or you can leave it like it is. I mean, it's all set up inside of the compartment, so it's obviously a good setup the way it is, but you could gain space there by moving that reel. On the passenger 2 compartment, this is set up for torch bottles. So you have a tall height compartment in here. You have some hangers here for your torch bottles, and then some bottle racks in here to secure them. This is your passenger wheel well compartment here. So you have one shelf inside of here with some sort of a divider kind of in it. Tiny bit of surface rust here. That's really just kind of where there's no paint, but the bin seams have a little bit of surface rust as well. Nothing flaking really. This right here that you see flaking is, can't tell what it is, but it's not metal. It's almost like some sort of coating that's coming up. It does have new drive tires across the rear. So new Falcon drives across the rear. Again, this is not a scratch, that's just grease that's dripping down from that compartment. In your crane compartment, which we looked at previously, you do have this factory wired remote that's going to come with the truck, as well as the aftermarket wireless that's on order. Here's a shot of the load chart. So 2-stage hydraulic extension out to 25 feet, 10,500 pound lifting capacity. All your air from the compressor is routed to this Railcraft hose reel in the bed. You have your outrigger controls, your light controls, all inside of here. And that's about it for that compartment. One thing about these IMT beds, this compartment doesn't have room for it, obviously, but you do have these inner tabs in most compartments. So if you'd like to add shelving to any compartments, it's very easy off those inner tabs. You have a workbench rear bumper on the back. You have steps on each side. This is one more thing we do have on order. Just the handle for this side of the compartment is broken. So I have a new one coming from IMT. Again, keyed the same. And then we'll adjust this door just so it sits square. You have a mount right here for your vise. 2 rear work lights. Tow hitch receiver. A little bit of damage on the rear bumper. So we've obviously painted and addressed the bumper, but you do have some dents as well. And then you have some dents in the tailgate too. You just pull up right here. The tailgate will open. Factory tie downs in the bed. And then new bed liner applied inside the bed. Coming around to the driver's side. Driver's side rear compartment is open with no shelves. You can see the tabs inside of here to secure all your shelves to. Some of the lighting and whatnot, some of the wires are just cut going to some of these lights. That is another thing that we are addressing. Just to make a note, if you noticed any of the wires hanging down. This is the driver wheel well compartment. Again, open with no shelving. Then your driver 1 and your driver 2 compartments. So the driver 2 compartment has 2 shelves inside of it. Your driver 1 compartment has 1 set of C-Tech drawers. They all slide super nice. Definitely a newer set of C-Techs. But they operate the way they should. That about wraps up the cosmetic portion of this demo video. I'm gonna hop in the truck and take it for a quick drive now, and then we'll run all the equipment on it. Again, if at any point you have any questions, feel free to call or text 804-716-8487. My goal is for expectations and reality to meet. So I want whatever you see in this video to be exactly the same thing you see when you come to look at the truck in person. So if you do have any more questions, shoot me a text. So I have the PTO on and the idle up. This is top speed on the idle. So talk a little bit about the lighting. You have this one LED floodlight on the side. You do have LED strip lighting inside of the compartments. These are the old style lights. They've been disabled. So the LED strip lighting lights up the compartments pretty well. All the compartments do have that LED strip. 2 LED floodlights on the rear. One more LED side light. And that's it on the lighting. Now coming back to the remote, if I go over to compressor, it's going to divert the flow to the compressor. Compressor builds air extremely quickly. Very quiet operation. This is your panel for all the lighting on the bed as well as your outrigger controls. Builds up to about 170 psi before it cuts off. With your outriggers deployed. Now I diverted it back over to crane. So it is fully proportional. The trigger is going to control the speed. So we'll go ahead and select a function. I'm going to unshackle this block and we'll run the crane all the way out to its full extension. Crane operation's super smooth. Again, off that trigger on the back of the remote, you can control the speed of all the functions. Pretty much everything I'm doing is going to be full speed, so this is about the fastest it's capable of going. And again, the truck is idled up as well while I'm running this for this demo video. This is your full extension out to 25 feet of total reach. Tons of life left on your wear pads. The inner boom is clean on both sides. And the winch line is in good shape. Nearly zero slop in the rotation. So what I mean by that is when you stop, it basically stops exactly where you let it off. Those rotation turntables do see wear over time, and you'll get a lot of play in it when you stop. But this one basically stops exactly where you let it off, even at full speed. Hey, so thanks again for watching. Once again, it's a 2010 Kenworth T370, under 60,000 miles, a little over 5,000 hours, IMT Dominator bed, 10,500 pound crane, compressor, pass-through bins, one set of C-Tech drawers. If you're looking for something similar or slightly different, feel free to reach out. We have all sorts of trucks available. I always have more coming in. If it's a service truck, that's all I buy and sell. So let me know what you're looking for, and I probably have it on the way in, even if it's not here. But again, this is Taylor at Truck World RVA, 804-716-8487. Thanks for checking this one out.